Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Johnny Demara, Carson Boatman, will suffer in the coming days. He was recently dumped by Wendy Shin, Victoria Grace, and will continue to suffer as a result. But can he leave one love triangle only to enter another? Johnny Demara was dumped due to his friendship with Chanel Dupree. According to previews for the week of July 17th, Johnny will seek help from his ex-stepfather Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring. He'll wallow in self-pity rather than confronting the real reason Wendy dumped him, his unresolved affections for his ex-wife, Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens. Johnny and Chanel would have delighted at the chance to reunite when Ali Horton, Lindsay Arnold, left Salem. They didn't, and instead danced around their emotions. They'll probably dance around these emotions for the remainder of the summer. Days spoilers. Johnny Demara runs into Talia Hunter. Days spoilers for the week of July 17th also indicate that Johnny will meet Talia Hunter, a Ketra civilian, in an unusual setting. Could these two detect a spark? The past Johnny has with Chanel, and thus Dupree's history with Miss Hunter, creates a unique dynamic in this love triangle. Chanel's dislike for Talia is waning. While she was astonished and hurt to learn of her role in the Sweet Bits Biscuit/Stalker plan, she knows that Talia was a victim of Colin Bedford's, Jasper Newman, emotional abuse. That doesn't mean she trusts Miss Hunter, and it certainly doesn't mean Dupree wants to see her ex-husband with her. This will also become more difficult because Talia has made amorous advances toward Chanel. In the end, Johnny should investigate his love for Chanel further. Nonetheless, it will be intriguing to watch as sparks flare between him and Talia. Do you want to see Johnny reunite with Chanel or fall in love with Talia? Please leave your comments below. Catch your favorite soap on Peacock every day to see how all the action unfolds, and check back frequently for updates. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates suggest that Abe Carver, James Reynolds, has hallucinations after being drugged by Whitley King, Kim Coles. But the question is whether they are hallucinations or flashbacks to his real life and family. Our daily lives. Whitley King had to keep Abe Carver under control. Whitley has had to sedate Abe after feeling compelled to fake Abe's death by having Jerry Prentice, Terrell Ransom Jr., witness his drowning. Abe was remembering his true life and wasn't buying what Whitley was selling, especially after seeing his son in an episode of Body and Soul. He challenged her about seeing Theo Carver, Cameron Johnson, and recognizing Jerry from the soap opera as not being him. Whitley informed him that Theo had abandoned acting and relocated to South Africa following that appearance, and that Jerry Prentice was his stage name. Abe wasn't buying what she was selling and tried to flee, but she drugged him to keep him quiet. Abe Carver is high on drugs, but still watches the soap. Since Whitley's cable TV was cut off for non-payment, Abe is kept drugged up, but still watches the soap operas on VHS tapes. Whitley keeps him compliant and sitting in his wheelchair in front of that TV while under sedation. Now that she's left the hospital, it's unclear how she'll continue. But she had to do something to ensure she was always with Abe, regardless of how she was going to pay her rent, let alone have access to the medications. However, the medications quickly begin to have an unexpected impact on Abe. He begins to suffer hallucinations, despite the fact that the drugs are not hallucinogenic. His hallucinations allow him to see things that may or may not be hallucinations at all, but rather flashbacks to his real life and family. Our daily lives. Abe Carver sees himself through Body and Soul. When Abe perceives himself as a character in Body and Soul, engaging with a character who like the real Paulina, his hallucinations begin. When he informs her that he and she had a daughter, his true memories of Lani Price Grant, Saul Stowers, and Paulina begin to return. According to previews, Lani and Abe have maintained their father-daughter bond despite the fact that he was not her birth father and Paulina is her true mother. Abe continues to endure hallucinations that appear to be flashbacks to his real life and his real family. Flashbacks are the first signs that someone's amnesia is fading and their memory is returning. Kristen believes she has the upper hand with Brady and Paulina, according to Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, July 14, 2023. Our Daily Lives all for Rachel spoilers. Kristen Dimara, Stacey Haydock, has been doing her best to honor her custody arrangement with Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, but young Rachel Black, Finley Rose Carter, has made that virtually impossible. She would rather be with her mother than her father and has no problem fleeing camp to prove it. Kristen believes she has a negotiating chip now that Rachel wants to live with her. To that purpose, she pays a visit to Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, to discuss the custody agreement, hoping that Marlena would be able to assist her in reasoning with Brady. Marlena was eager to help her with hypnosis last week, so perhaps their friendship has thawed, and she will assist her with the Rachel dilemma this week. Abe is a disaster. Under the influence of whatever medicines crazy cat lady nurse Whitley, Kim Coles, is giving him, Abe Carver, James Reynolds, begins to hallucinate and goes on quite a trip seeing weird things that are not really there. It'll be intriguing to observe what's going on inside Abe's head and what he's actually thinking about during his trauma. Meanwhile, Whitley will have a lot more questions to answer when Stephen Nichols, calls and wonders why she quit working at the hospital right around the time Abe went missing. Whitley's situation is deteriorating, and she is poised to make yet another desperate move. Finally, Jerry Prentice, Terrell Ransom Jr., cannot bear the shame of what he assisted Whitley in doing to Abe. He is aware that she is now drugging him, therefore that is a step too far for him. He goes to see the actual Theo Carver, Cameron Johnson, to tell him the truth, but he has trouble speaking. However, he may be forced to do so if Lani Price Grant, Saul Stowers, is interested in what this young man has to say. She is convinced that something is wrong with what happened to her father and is desperate to find out what it is. Stream. Updates and spoilers for Days of Our Lives tease that Lani Price Grant, Saul Stowers, goes missing after speaking with Jerry Prentice, Terrell Ransom Jr. She asks him what he was about to say to Theo Carver, Cameron Johnson, before she interrupted, and he admits Abe Carver, James Reynolds, is still alive. Our Daily Lives Lani Price Grant goes in search of her father. Lani searches for her father when Jerry informs her that Abe is still alive. This after she runs into him again after interrupting his conversation with Theo. Lani is scheduled to return to Paulina Price's, Jackie Harry home, where she is residing with her mother at a specific hour. Rafe Fernandez, Galen Gehring, who is meant to be overseeing her, despite the fact that he was recently fired, and Paulina become concerned when she fails to appear. Lani, for example, has an ankle monitor that she cannot remove, yet when it is tracked, it does not show movement. That should be enough to make anyone concerned that anything has happened to Lani. Lani Price Grant could be anywhere. Following Rafe's dismissal about overzealous, moralistic, and power-hungry interim Mayor Cliff Rawlings, Grayson Berry, he delegated Lani's supervision to Jada Hunter, Elia Cantor. Jada employed police sources to follow Lani's ankle monitor, and to be honest, it doesn't seem good. They know Lani won't abandon her monitor. Kristen Dimara, Stacey Haydock, is also questioned because they are good friends, but Kristen hasn't seen her since before she was alleged to have been seen with Jerry. Rafe and Paulina assume that the bogus witness to Abe's presumed death now has Lani, though the nurse Whitley King, Kim Coles, is also suspected. They're wondering if she's been transported to wherever her father is being detained, but there aren't many leads. Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, and John Black, Drake Hoteston, join the search. Our Daily Lives Jerry Prentice is missing, spoilers. When Steve and John get into Jerry's flat, they discover that he has also vanished, with no trace of Abe or Lani, but they do discover proof that he performed extensive study on Theo. That almost likely links him to not only Lani's, but also Abe's disappearance, and Rafe and Paulina assumed he was working with Whitley. Certain things became clear after Lani pointed out facts that didn't fit up for Abby to truly be dead, and she's been attempting to find him. Whoever stole Abe and involved Jerry must now have both of them, as well as Lani. Rafe recalls attempting to speak with Whitley in her apartment and hearing noises inside, but receiving no response. She then came to the SPD. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.